band is this?
Everybody poops sometimes.
Give us the smother.
Wake up, sweetness.
Your first time should be more than special.
I'm in, Savannah said. Good Lord, Gemma.
When a man and a woman, in this case, really, really love each other, what happens is they fuck.
Ooh, hello?
Oh, dang it, I lost my fish. This next word almost sounds like Quidditch. Quidditch milade Diana Agosiagath an Fiedian. As much as I love fucking you, sweetness, we stared into each other's eyes whilst I moaned in ecstasy. Having consumed half of the bourbon, I keep saying bourbon. You know, every time I mess up on a word, Stunt Mama just shows up.
She had her seductive smile on her lips.
I said we couldn't have sex. I didn't say anything about everything else. Ew. Happy to help. Biatch. You are the spark of light in the vastness of my night. His note, like a finality to a beautiful, breathtaking song. Hey, we're back. Good to see you. Mitchell, how are you? It's good to be back in the chair with a book in front of me. You doing well? That's great. I'm happy to hear that. You know, Mitchell, I want to do something for you. You have been such a what's the word? I'm trying to find the right words. You're always here, is what I'm trying to say. You're always here. You're like one of the few people that shows up at the beginning. And that, to me, means a lot. Like, a lot. I don't want to get all mushy on camera, but it has an impact on me. So, I want to say thank you by doing this for you. There you go. You are now subbed. No more ads for you. It's my pleasure. Seriously. I don't expect anything from anybody. But for the few that actually get here when I'm starting, it means the world. And I know some people can't, and I get that. You know, timing, life, all that good stuff, work, blah, 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 fill in the blank. But somehow you always manage to be here. And that, like I said, it means a lot to me. So just wanted to say thank you. And I figured that was a really an easy way for me to do that. So there you go. You look forward to Sunday and Thursday evenings? Me too. I'm so glad. Is it because you're having like a really nice dinner? Stop Mama's mama. We never will understand. I waited for you to get done. Get done with what? My little mushy speech. How are you? It's good to see you. Mushy mushy Rio. But it was a good speech. Hi, Jen. Hi, Rio. Hi, Julie. Wipes a tear. Oh. Well, you know, I wanted to be supportive. Rio, thank you so much for the raid. How are you? Let's I know what you were playing, but let's show the world what you were playing. How is the game progressing for you, Rio? Are you making lots of friends? Beating all the baddies? I hope so. I hope so. Oh, quick question for those of you in chat. Do you see a pinned message at the top of the screen? I just want to make sure it's working. You saw it? Cool. All right. Rio, how are you? Unfortunately, my browser decided to bork, so I can't see or hear, but thank you for the shout out. You can't see or hear. Okay. Well, for those of you that can hear, tell Rio I said thank you very much for thinking of me and rating. For those of you that are sticking around, we are going to get into our book here very soon. For those of you that need to run, I totally understand. Thank you for being part of the raid. It's good to see you. And if you don't know me by chance, I am a reading streamer and part-time voice actor. So welcome in. We're just getting going. We have a puzzle for today. It's just over 400 pieces, and it's basically the opening of a book, which leads to a path, a journey. Because that's what books are. They are a path into the unknown. Unless you've read the book before. It is pretty. And it kind of ties in with that link that I put. That pinned message. So that project I was working on, wink wink, it's finished and it's ready. And I ordered one and it'll be here in a few days and I'm very excited. So very, very happy about that. I finished it while I was on my work trip, and then I gave it to my editor. She helped me with a few pieces of it that needed, you know, some brushing up from the rough copy. And then I made it into the book. So there it is. I'm very, very excited. All right. What else? Oh, we met with the builder, the house builder. We had our preliminary meeting 2 days ago. We have secured the land that we're going to build on. And the next step is to have a couple of different meetings with like a kitchen design place and another store that has displays so that we can figure out, well, all the inside stuff, really. The flooring, the type of cabinets, the hardware, paint colors, you know, the whole 9 yards. So that'll be a couple of different meetings. We have to get that done by May 17th. So we have time, but we have to wait for the coordinating person to reach out to us to, you know, get that scheduled. So that's what we're waiting for. So that's the next step. Very excited about that. It's the fun stuff of the whole process. Then after that, by the end of May, we'll sign the official purchase agreement, which will kind of officially put us on the hook for the house. And then they'll start building. And hopefully by September, we'll be moving in. Woo. So, there you go. That's my news. Oh, And we also have, stretch, we have our next book, not that we're anywhere close to needing it yet, but it's right here. The Shades of Orthea. Written by a streamer. So that'd be cool. Let's put that back over there so it's out of my way. So yeah, that's what I got. Those are my updates. That's my news. So a lot of exciting things. Yes. Yes, indeed. Much hype. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you've had a good week so far. And don't forget, we'll be in Stunt Mama's Discord later after this reading to continue reading Fourth Wing. So if you want to hear any of that book, you know, any curiosity, even if you've read it before. In fact, most of the people that show up to listen to that have already read it. They just want to hear it as an audiobook. They've read it for themselves. They've never had someone read it to them. So they're enjoying the second time around from that perspective. So all right, that's my sales pitch. I've got my tea, I've got my books, we've got the puzzle. I think we're good to go. You've earned some exciting things in your life. It doesn't always feel that way, to be honest, but I am trying to take stock of the cool things that are happening and just really appreciate them for how they've come to be, you know? Because that can be easily missed. I would like to miss my yawning, but that's not happening. It's really easy to just get wrapped up in the excitement and the details and the stress and the everything that goes into some of these events, happenings. But I'm really, really trying to just take a breath and appreciate how they've come to be, why they're here, and what I can take from that, and just sit with it, you know? So, yeah. I was telling my kiddo just the other day that we are... excuse me, gosh. I was telling him that we are a very fortunate family right now because not everyone gets to do what we're doing. And that, you know, this isn't something that just happens all the time to everybody. So, trying to help him understand the gravity of it in a way from an 8-year-old's perspective. So, anyway, that's enough babble from me. You didn't come here to listen to me blabber on. You came here to listen to a story. Midnight Black, in fact. He will remember? I hope so, Jen. How are you, Jen? It's been a hot minute since we've chatted. Are you doing okay? Huh. You're good? I'm glad to hear that. You know, it's funny I should kind of transition on that topic because chapter 14 in our book is called Hard Lessons to be Learned. Coincidence? Probably not. Funny? Definitely. It's a coincidence for me. Okay, well, to each is our own story, I guess, right? As some might say. Now I have to try and remember all of the voices that I gave the characters, because it's been over a week since we've read this, and my mind has definitely been in other places, especially when I was working and whatnot, and traveling and all that good stuff. But nevertheless, here we go. Chapter 14, page 93 in our printed copy. Hard lessons to be learned. Hank and I are off cruising the mean streets in one of the government Chevy Traverses. It's my first exposure to South Boston beyond Broadway and 4th. What I see is disturbing and heartbreaking. The homeless walk aimlessly, begging for handouts or drugs, or crouching in alleys to stave off the cold. That is what it's come to. This is the new world order. It needs serious work. Billy, you can't let Gustav get to you. If you do, you'll lose. Gustav's a bully, Hank. Bullies need their nuts squeezed occasionally. Proceed at your own risk. Duly noted, sir. By the way, this Rod Holbrook I replaced. What happened to him? Oh, that. A snitch told one of Chernov's guys Rod was on Dominic's Scaglione's payroll. Who? Scaglione. A second-tier drug dealer, but a dangerous one. Whenever we thought we had him, he'd be gone by the time we showed up. Rod, it seems, was tipping Scaggy off. Chernov received word from the snitch that Scaggy would be at Faneuil Hall in Boston's North End on Thursday afternoon. We were told we'd be going on a bust, but weren't told who, which was highly unusual. At 2:10, Scaggy comes out of Faneuil Hall with his bag of goodies flanked by 2 of his Goombas. Rod's face turned whitewash when he saw who it was. Scaggy spots Rod, goes batshit nuts, whips out a gun and yells, "Holbrook, you sold me out!" Bang! Rod takes a shot to his left temple and hits the pavement a second before we drop Scaggy and his 2 goons. All 4 died there in the street. End of story. Hey, Stump Papa. Hey, bud, gonna lurk and check out the new war bond? Please do. I checked it out this morning. It's explosive, and that's all I'm gonna say. There isn't more to be said on the subject, so I drop it. Hank turns on Columbia Road. About half a mile down, he pulls over to the curb. Welcome to Joe Moakley Park. I'm stunned. As far as I can see, there's small tents erected in just about every available space. My God, Hank. It's shameful. Several thousand clinging to life within a few feet of one another. I don't know what to say, Hank. How do they survive? If it wasn't for a local charity that provides 1 odd meal a day, I don't know what these people would do. There's another encampment, a Medal of Honor park just north of here, and one in Peters Park west of I-93. It's painful to see human beings living crammed together in a tent city like some far-off refugee camp in a desert war zone. This can't be America. This can't be the country I left behind. And yet, there it is, in living color, right before my eyes. Seen enough, Billy? Unable to take my eyes off the demoralizing sight of the tent city, I nod. We continue to cruise the streets of South Boston aimlessly. We're out killing time and wasting gas is all I can figure. As we roll down Yonkers, Hank back stiffens. His head whips left, and his foot comes off the gas pedal. There. The alley on the left. What? We passed the alley too fast. I didn't see what he saw. He makes a U-turn and cruises back, stopping 10 feet short on the alley's entrance. What is it, Hank? A deal's going down in the alley. 2 in suits, a third in jeans and a windbreaker. Go for him. You're sure it's a drug deal? As sure as the nose on my face. Wilson said to call for backup before engaging out here. We can handle this. He's got his weapon out. Shit, we're gonna do this. Hank, let me call for backup. Jesus, Billy, all right, call it in. Use your cell and put it on speaker. I hit home on my phone. It rings 3 times before Jade answers. Hey, Billy, what's up? Hank spotted a deal going down. 2 buyers and a delivery man. We need backup. Where are you? Hank, where are we? On Yonkers, the alley between Winston and Thurman. You got that, Jade? Got it. Gustav and Victor are here. Hang tight until they arrive. The line goes dead. Get your weapon out, Billy. Out my Smith & Wesson comes. The first time I've held a weapon of any kind with the intent of maybe using it in over 17 years. The one in the windbreaker. If he even looks like he's going for a weapon, ventilate him. Hank's out the door, moving fast toward the alley entrance. What? What happened to waiting for backup? Move, Billy, move. Don't leave Hank out there alone. Scrambling out the door, my right toe dips into a rut in the sidewalk, sending me tumbling head over heels and landing on my back. Damn it. Damn it. Bounding to my feet, I rush to Hank's side just short of the alley's entrance. Stay the hell on your feet, will ya? What happened to waiting for Gustav and Victor? No reply from Hank. He's hyped, pumping up and down on his toes, like a prize fighter. Before I can say another word, he takes 2 steps into the alley's entrance, plants his feet wise, and raises his gun. Is this a private party, gentlemen? What the hell is this damn fool doing? You need to be out there with him before he gets himself killed. With my gun raised, I step to his side just as the trio spin towards us. There's 2 30-something white guys in suits. The tall one in the windbreaker looks Hispanic. He pulls a weapon from his belt, grabs the suit closest to him in a chokehold, and places his gun to the guy's right temple. Le voilà, le matitos. Hank sniggers. English, amigo. English. I said I'll blow his goddamn brains out. Well, if you do, we'll remove yours. The third man, shaking like a vibrator, drops to his knees. Don't shoot. Please. Don't shoot. Hank's yelling at him. On your stomach. Hands behind your head. The guy hits the asphalt face down. The one standing with the gun to his head begins to cry. Please. I have a wife and 2 young daughters. The gunman presses his weapon against the man's temple. Shut the hell up. Hank takes a step forward. Hey, Batman. You know how this works. You off him, we off you. The only way these junkies make it out here alive is if I do too. You cool with that, officer? Whatever the hell your name is. Play nice, put the gun down, and live another day. Luego me darás que me vacanto ocasión de amor. No entendido, amigo. That's bullshit, Chico Blanca. Next you tell me you're gonna sing me a love song. Hank leans to me and whispers low. His right leg. It's in the clear. My shot will be to his knee. He'll peel right, the hostage left. That's when you unload on his chest. Don't miss. Hank, we can take him alive. He'll go down when you hit his knee. And if he begins shooting, Billy, what's then? I want to defuse this. I shout to the guy, put the gun down, and you get to leave here alive. In custody? Forget it. I'm not going to the white man's jail. No, sir, not on your life. Hank takes another step forward. Come on, amigo. Whoever you're working for doesn't give a rat's ass about you. Let's talk. The guy tosses his head back and cackles. I'm supposed to trust you. Hank grins and whispers low. Hell no, asshole. I hear it in his voice. Hank's mind is made up. He's driving this train now, not you, Billy. You're along for the ride. Hank takes 2 steps forward. I move with him. My eyes flit to Hank's gun. His finger squeezes the trigger ever so slowly. Click. Bang. The shot echoes throughout the narrow alley like a cannon shot. The bullet smashes into the gunman's right knee. A guttural cry escapes his throat. His gun slips from his hand to the pavement as he rolls to his right. The hostage breaks to his left. Now, Billy, damn it, fire. My shot slams into the gunman's right shoulder. With a wide-eyed, stunned expression, his mouth flaps open. He stumbles back 2 steps and collapses flat on his back. The hostage drops face down to the pavement. It all happened in the blink of an eye, just as Hank said it would. Except, I made a split-second decision not to kill the man. God damn it, you, Billy. Hank's hot-footing to the wounded drug dealer, holsters his gun, rolls the guy over, and handcuffs him. The wounded man is wailing in pain. Hurts, doesn't it, asshole? Jesus, man, I need to get to the hospital. And I need to get to lunch, asshole. Hank rolls him onto his back and unzips his jacket. The inside is lined with pockets. Hank pulls out the contents. Lots of little bags, and I'll bet it's not aspirin. He turns to the 2 men lying on the ground. You 2, on your feet. Don't say a word, or you'll royally piss me off. Like frightened children, both men rise. From the looks of those suits and expensive shoes, I guess you're a couple of business guys regretting you ever entered this alley. The shorter of the 2 looks like he's about to cry. Lawyers. We're both lawyers, man. Dumb ones at that. Hank turns to me and winks. What do you think, Billy? Should we give these brainless dickhead addicts a break? I don't know where he's going with this, so I go along. Sure. Why not? Your lottery ticket just came up with a winner, gentlemen. Get your dumbasses out of here before you run you in. And do yourselves another favor. Sign up for rehab. Now, beat it. The men scamper out of the alley like cats being chased by angry dogs. As soon as they're out of sight, Hank's on me. What the hell was that all about, Billy? Did I not tell you to drop him? You want to kill people? Go for it. I don't want any part of it. Who the hell gave you a choice? The sound of screeching tires and car doors slamming echoes into the alley. There's your goddamn backup, Billy. Hines and Auger come racing into the alley, weapons drawn. Hank scoffs. You're a little late to the show, boys. Victor is shaking his head and mumbling something in French. Tu arrêtes d'entraider. Do you 2 slip in and out of foreign languages just to piss us off? I said you are supposed to wait for backup. Next time, for sure, Victor, I promise. How many were there? 3. Where's the other 2? A couple of lawyers out signing up for rehab. The bad boy over there has a couple of painful wounds. Better get him some medical attention or whatever else you have in mind. Gustav glances at the guy on the ground. Why is he still alive, Hank? He had a hostage. Didn't want to get him killed. Thanks for that big lie, Hank. He begins to leave. Come on, Billy. Where the hell are you two going? Lunch, Victor. Wanna come? What about him over there? We caught him. You deal with him, Billy. You deal with him, Billy. Let's go. As we leave, Gustav calls out something in his mother tongue. Hank smiles and tosses him the finger. As we reach the sidewalk, there's an explosion of a single gunshot. Oh my God, Hank, they didn't. Oh, lesson number 1, Officer Russell. They did what we were supposed to. Next time, do your goddamn job. Wow, they just killed the guy right there in the alley, even with handcuffs on. Fantastic. There's a break in the story because time has moved on. Not a word passes between us as we travel on William J. Day Boulevard, along Boston Harbor. Hank's got a long face on. No doubt he's pissed at me. Fine, let him be. I wasn't about to be that man's executioner. Across the harbor from the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library, Hank stops in front of a small one-story building tucked tightly between 2 tall office buildings. Pointed on the picture window in bold red letters is one word: Maggie's. What is Maggie's? Lunch, Billy. Lunch. One of those ever-present Eagle posters greets us at the door. The inside is small and in serious need of TLC. There's a lunch counter with 6 stools and a dozen booths. Most are occupied. A sign that the food's good. I'm heading for an empty booth, one by the window, when Hank waves me over to another. Never sit by the window. Why not? Streetwalkers stare at you while you eat. Gee, Hank, I can see how that could be traumatizing. We settle in the booth. How has this place survived between 2 office buildings? When Maggie's husband died, she turned down a shitload of cash from builders who wanted to tear the joint down and build another tower. Sentiment, I guess. Who knows? A middle-aged, unsmiling, short, portly woman with a surly expression and a food-stained white apron comes to our table. Hey, Hank. Hey, Maggie. How they hanging? She raises an eyebrow and cups her sagging left breast. Better than your testicles, Hank. That's funny. Whoa, what's going on with these two? Where's your waitress of the day? Flu bug. Who's the new face? Billy, meet the one and only Maggie Daggerman. Billy's my new partner. I'm sorry to hear that, Billy. Hank's a degenerate. You got a last name? Russell. What happened to your eye? Walked into the bathroom door in the middle of the night. No lights in your house. I chuckle softly. Having the special, gentleman? Should I know what that is, Maggie? Cheeseburger and fries, Billy. Guaranteed safe for human consumption. Coffee? Hank and I nod. Don't trash talk me while I'm gone. Maggie waddles off with a smile. Apparently, these two take perverse pleasure in trading insults. Is this your regular routine, Hank? If I don't yank her chain, she gets depressed. She dishes it back pretty good. Listen, Hank, not to change the subject, but what happened back there? You took it upon yourself to change the plan. That's what happened back there. What plan? You bounced into that alley without so much as a, here's what we're gonna do. Cut the bullshit, Billy. You don't follow the rules. Hey, Superkinson, what's up, man? How are you doing? Aren't you playing a game tonight with Stunts and Zarias? I think. If I remember correctly. Yeah, in like 30 minutes. Nice. Well, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have fun. Oh, how brazen of me for not following protocol. Don't wait for backup and execute the suspect on sight. Get off your high horse, Billy. That guy could have gotten off a couple of shots, dropping one or both of us. In those situations, there are no do-overs. Today you get a C-. Next time, put your principles aside and make it an A+. Or don't plan on riding with me again. Hey, killer. How you doing? I got your stream up too. Jesus, we didn't need to kill him, Hank. Get that embedded in your moral brain. 3 haggard-looking middle-aged men appear at the window. Hank frowns. There. Did I tell you? Maggie, still looking like her dog died, returns with our food. Eat it up, boys, before the flies get to it. Call me if you need anything. She waddles off again, her feet spread apart to balance her excess weight. When she's out of earshot, Hank leans in as far as he can. Look, Officer Russell, before we get too invested in each other's well-being, let's lay our cards face up. What's that supposed to mean? We're both ex-cons. I don't want to know what you did, nor will I tell you what I did that earned us this once-in-a-lifetime plush assignment. But whatever we did guarantees we do what they want, the way they want, or settle for another uncomfortable jail cell or worse. Keep reminding yourself what we do is legal by government decree. Define legal. Whatever the brain trust in Marseille damn well says it is. That doesn't make it morally right, Hank. Define morality. I'm just saying. Yeah, well, don't, Billy. We're not paid to bring them in alive, period. And if we do, we beat the hell out of them before delivering the coup de grace. Morality has nothing to do with it. Yours and my survival do. So, we've sold our souls to the devil to stay alive. Considering the alternative, big boy, yeah. The bad guys are running this world, Billy. We either play their game, or there's no end game for us. As long as it's cards face up, how many times have you had to stop? Don't ever ask me that again, or you'll royally piss me off. When your time comes, you'll make your decision and live with the consequences. Until then, this subject is off the table for any further discussion. Got it? Oh, you've put your foot in your big mouth again, Billy boy. Change the subject. Okay, I got it. What's the story with Heinz and Auger? Heinz is a kraut. Auger is a french fry. Both are from Central Drug Security out of Marseille, which raises the question. Why were they sent to work in a drug enforcement unit in Boston along with Rod and me? He does a quick scan around the room and leans in again. Those two take their orders from Colonel Chernoff, not Wilson. I can't prove it, but I suspect the unit is their cover. A cover for what? On occasion, Gustav and Victor are missing in action for a couple of days, off on a special assignment for Chernoff, so we're told. Each time they're gone, someone in the world meets an untimely death. As I said, I can't prove it, but as the saying goes, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck. What about Wilson and Chernoff? Wilson's a retired Marine, divorce, no kids I know of. As for Chernoff, rumor has it he's got a wife back in Russia. His three aides, Antonia Lebedev, Ivan Oblonsky, and Boris Tanganev, came as a package with Chernoff. All four were with Russian intelligence before joining the world government. There's more going on here than meets the eye, and we're in the middle of whatever it is. Enough questions. Let's get out of here. Lunch is on me. Interesting. There's a break in the story here, so we can take a moment. So, Hank's been there a little while. We don't know how long exactly, but long enough to know that he is getting a bit suspicious of the people that are there and the circumstances that brought them together. Meaning, it's not just a run-of-the-mill, I want to get hired and do my job in Boston. There's more under the surface. No sooner do we arrive back at the office, the Gustav's mouthing off in German. Ugh. Oh boy, really? I have to speak German right now? Die amerikanischen Cowboys in Zurich wollten sei das nicht mal honk auf das Backup. Something about those two and backup. Nailed it. Thank you. I thought I would have. First time and all that. Practically a linguist over here. Living my life. First try. Someone's gonna hear this and go, he just said he makes French fries in the toaster. Victor, standing nearby, laughs. He said the American Cowboys are back. Next time, wait for backup. You two make a great ventriloquist act. Next time, show up quicker. Geez, the conversations around here reverberate like a bunch of high school jocks in a locker room snapping towels at one another. With nothing else on the schedule, I settle at my desk and scan more case files. They're carbon copies of the ones I've already reviewed, so what's the point? Come closing time, Wilson calls me to his office. Russell, a minute, please. Ah, crap, what have I done now? When I enter, he eyes me for a moment. You lost your cherry today. Lost my cherry? Terrible metaphor. Hank said you and him worked well together. He's studying me like he's mulling over how to make his next point. The hostage thing. Or wait, no, that's Wilson. The hostage thing. You and Hank made the right call. We don't want a couple of civilians losing their lives over a fix. Bad PR. But, you would have dropped him if that guy hadn't taken hostages, right? There it is. The loyalty oath. That's what he's called me in for. He wants to hear what he wants to hear. Nod, Billy. Nod. Agree with him. Good. I'll take that as a yes. Go home, relax, and get some rest. See you in the morning. Move Put one foot in front of the other, Billy boy. Get out of here while you're ahead. Except for Jade. I find the squad room empty. Where is everybody, Jade? Gone for the day. I'll walk out with you. Finally, an opportunity to flirt outside the office. She grabs her coat and we're off. Out on the street, she points to her left. My apartment's 2 blocks in the opposite direction. Oh, that's close. You walk every day? When the weather's good. I wish I could throw some light on why I feel the way I do around this woman. But in the 2 short days I've been here, I'm inexplicably drawn to this lovely creature I know nothing about. Sure, she's damn easy on the eyes, and God knows I'm wanting in that department and would love to jump her bones. But that's not what's driving me. There's more going on than my desire to jump her bones. Have time for a coffee somewhere close? Gee, thanks, Billy. Not tonight. I have to get home to feed my cat. I'll take a rain check. Okay. Be careful going home. She tosses her head back and laughs, opens her coat, revealing her belt-mounted revolver and badge. No one messes with Jade Myro. I didn't know you carried. Always, Billy. Always. Till the morning, then. Good night, Jade Myro. Sleep tight. I'll see you in my dreams. My eyes remain locked on her until she disappears around a corner. Remembering the only real meal in the fridge was the hot dogs and bologna, I duck into the little grocery on Broadway and pick up a ham steak, a pound of hamburger, butter, more coffee pods, and I'm off. As I turn down 4th Street, there's a city squad car and an EMS pulling away from the house. Hot-footing the rest of the way, I find the front door ajar. Climbing the steps, I knock on Jules's door. No answer. Jules, it's Billy. You in there? Up here, Billy. Jules is standing at the top of the stairs, legs apart, hands on his hips. Well, what's going on? I saw the cops and an ambulance leaving. Lock the front door before you come up. I find Jules is upstairs by the open door to Conrad Billings' apartment. What's going on? I heard a loud noise like maybe a fight was going on up here. By the time I came to investigate, it had stopped. I banged on the door, but there was no answer, so I used my key and found Conrad face down on the kitchen floor over there. I peer in. The apartment is a pigpen. Dishes piled up in the sink. A plate of uneaten Chinese takeout on the table. Dirty clothes were strewn about on the sofa, and the place reeks. It wasn't cooking. I smelled, after all. Did he have a heart attack? OD'd. Cops found enough coke, heroin, and fentanyl to kill a herd of pissed-off buffalo. A hell of a lot more than Conrad needed to keep himself floating on a cloud, that's for sure. Cops think he might have been a middleman for one of the cartels. He had to be with as much stuff as he had stored here. Now that I think of it, he had visitors coming and going at all hours. Jules spins around and stomps off down the hall at his usual quick speed. I gotta get somebody to clean up the mess. Close this door, will you? I peer into Conrad's apartment again before closing the door and entering my place. After seeing the dump across the hall, I have a new appreciation for my meager digs. Stashing the groceries in the fridge, I retrieve the bourbon, pour a shot, and raise the glass in a toast. Here's to the memory of Conrad Billings, who I never met, and to my reluctant assistance in taking down a drug pusher who Gustav and Victor saw fit to execute. I'm gonna get very drunk, and there isn't a damn thing anyone can do about it. And I'm talking to myself. Not a good sign. The first shot goes in one gulp, then a second and third, and I'm out for the count on an empty stomach. And that's the end of chapter 14. It's okay, Billy, we all talk to ourselves sometimes. It's just the nature of being a human being. Isn't that right, Atkinson? Yes, it is. Ah, a ship of tea. I hope you've all brought your favorite beverages with you. You talk to yourself all the time? You know, sometimes you have to. Otherwise, you lose track of whatever it was we were trying to do. I get it. I get it. Okay, I'm just double checking. At least you're talking to an intelligent being. Oh. I like that. I like that. Hey, quick question. Has the stream been okay? Have there been any weird interruptions or pauses? Buffering? That kind of thing? Sorry I had to leave for a moment. No worries, Jen. You are not tied to the stream. If you gotta go do stuff, you go do stuff. Totally okay. The reason I'm asking about the stream stability is because it keeps telling me that I'm unstable for some reason. Just wanted to make sure it looked okay and sounded okay on your end. I've been puzzling, haven't noticed. So Mitchell, while you've been puzzling, have you heard any interruptions? Like pauses where there shouldn't be? Words cut off or something like that? Not really? Okay. Just wanted to double check, because you never know. Okay. I forgot how many pages this story is. This book. 287... 290. And we're on page 107. So, just over a third of the way through. Doesn't take long to get there, does it? When you're reading a book. Doesn't take long at all. Okay. Just get rid of you two. Awesome. All right. Chapter 15. Will it ever end? Eventually, yes, it will. As I said, page 107, exclamation point midnight. If you want to check out our author and the other works he has published. He's got a pretty impressive portfolio, too, of the different work he's done with TV and movies. Why are you blinking at me? So I got a new phone case, and I didn't realize this, but it doesn't charge very well on a wireless charger. So that kind of stinks. I wonder if I can turn it sideways. Hey, hey. All right, at least it charges sideways. That's good enough. I'll have to check and see how it does in my bedroom where I charge it on my nightstand. Anyway, chapter 15, Will It Ever End? Stay focused. My dreams running in an endless loop. We're in the alley. I missed the shot on purpose. Rewind. We're in the alley. I missed the shot on purpose. Damn it, I'm dreaming. The only way to stop is to wake up. My brain cooperates. My eyes pop open wide. I'm sweating and breathing hard. If I go back to sleep, it'll be a replay of the same. I gotta take a whiz anyway. A good excuse to get up. Feeling my way in the dark to my luxurious bathroom, I relieve myself without turning on the light. From the sound of it, I'm missing the bowl. A slight shift to the right, and bingo, water on water. I miss the damn bowl again. I don't know anyone else, or don't know anyone outside the office. Who could be... Wait, what? Oh yeah, who could be calling this time of night? Has to be a wrong number. The phone. Where did I leave it? I stashed it under my pillow. Dashing back to the bedroom, I rescue it from its hiding place. Yeah, hello? Billy, it's Hank. Jesus, Hank, what time is it? 2:20. It's still dark. Always at this hour, Billy, my boy. Be out front at 3:30. What the hell for? Take a shower, shave, brush your teeth, comb your hair, and be out front. Why, Hank? Company business. You want to chit-chat, or you want to get ready? Okay, mystery man. Pick me up at the newsstand. The line goes dead. What in the bloody hell needs our attention in the middle of the night? And why does my brain give me a play-by-play of everything? I'm ready for the loony bin. And I'm ready for some tea. That's the good stuff. There's a small break in the story. At 3:25, sleep-deprived and in a foul mood, I'm huddled by the closed newsstand under the new corner streetlight waiting for Hank. It's damn cold, and there are light snow flurries. All I have is this brown jacket issued to me when I vacated the preferred vacation spot of the cosmos. Should have gotten a warmer one when I bought the new clothes. I'm scanning Broadway and 4th from left to right. One or more streetwalkers could decide I'm easy pickings at this ungodly hour. What would I do if they challenged me? I have a weapon, unless they too have one. Just in the nick of time, Hank arrives in one of the government vehicles. I slip into the passenger seat. He hands me a cup of hot coffee. You look like crap, Billy. Because you jerked me out of bed at 2:20. Drink the coffee and be quiet. Where are we going and why? 28 miles south to Marshfield. And it couldn't wait until daylight? Drug breweries never sleep, Billy. Oh crap, we're going on a raid? What did you think it was at this hour, Billy boy? A belated surprise birthday party in the middle of the night? I've been dreading this. I didn't expect it to happen this soon. I should have ran off to the Arizona desert when I had the chance. Fill me in, Hank. I don't know any more than you do, pal. Wilson said to pick you up and meet them in Marshfield. Drink your coffee and enjoy the ride. Oh, we have an ad starting in less than 30 seconds. So I'm just not going to say anything else from the book because the next bit would take too long. Now, if you don't actually get ads, let me know. 5 seconds. Ad time. Okay, now it usually tells me that the ads are running, but it's not doing that. I am so confused. I know you don't have ads, super. Jeez. Go play your game. Mitchell has no ads. Yep. Because you're subbed. All of you are subbed. So you shouldn't get any. You know what? You're all so special, aren't you? Just special. What would Stunt say? You're not helping. Jen might have an ad. I don't know who else might be here listening still, but they might have ads. But normally it tells me that the ads are playing and how long is left. But it hasn't done. Oh, yep, okay. Now it's telling me. Ad break ends in 50 some seconds. Yeah, special. You're special. You know what, Stunt Mama's Mama? You are special. You have a place right in here. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Alright, we got about 20 seconds or so. Hug. I love your hugs. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. Alright, and we're back from ads. I will continue reading the story. Let's see. Billy asked Hank what's going on. Hank said, I don't know any more than you do. Wilson said to pick you up and meet them in Marshfield. Drink your coffee and enjoy the ride. Hank goes quiet as a church mouse, so I don't engage him further. GPS takes us south, entering the Marshfield area on 2-lane 3A south, then left on Seoul Avenue, right on Bay Road. Another right on Seabury Point Road, which we follow until it turns into a 1-lane dirt road. Another 1/4 mile, and we approach a thick stand of tall trees ahead. The road swings away to the right around the tree line. Hank turns off his headlights, shifts the car to neutral, and rolls off the road, stopping next to 2 government Chevys and an unmarked Humvee. Close to the tree line, we can make out 6 men in black uniforms, milling around a large black box van. White lettering on its side identifies it as SWAT, World Law Enforcement, Boston. An EMS vehicle is parked next to it. Jesus, Hank, are we going to war? Today you lose your training wheels, Billy. And what, pray tell, was that action in the alley? A pea shoot. Be on your toes for this one. That sends the night cold deep to my bones. Or maybe it's cold fear that today they're going to test me. I'm not a cold-blooded killer, despite what I did in that closet. I've justified that 1,000 times. An eye for an eye. We're out of the vehicle, heading to where the others have gathered. The snow is coming down harder now. Gustav and Victor are there, along with the 2 guys in fatigues I've not seen before. Wilson and Chernov are talking nearby. Jade and Chernov's lady, Antonia, have their arms wrapped around automatic weapons and wearing communications headsets, as are the others. As we approach, I smile big at Jade, but she doesn't smile back. Good morning, ladies. Jade motions to Wilson. The lieutenant's looking for you two. As we move on to Wilson, I ask Hank what I think is an obvious observation. Why are the ladies carrying heavy artillery? In case they have to use them. Have they ever? Not yet. We pass Hines and Augur. Hines shoots me one of his poisonous looks. But it's Augur who rags on us. Hey, it's Officer Russell and Drummond, the straight-shooting American cowboys. Ah, give it a rest, will you, Victor? I'd like to punch the arrogant French bastard out just once. An unsmiling Colonel Chernov greets us. Good morning. Welcome to the hunting party. That has to be his favorite metaphor. He spits it out with a little too much bravado for my liking. Maybe this is what he lives with for these hunting parties. Maybe it gets his juices flowing. I nod and give him my best Billy Russell smile. Any trouble finding us, Hank? No, Lieutenant? This one must have come up fast to haul us out at this hour. Around 11 last night, the Colonel here... Wait, hold on. Oh, this is Wilson. Sorry. Around 11 last night, the Colonel here got a call about a drug factory in the abandoned warehouse on the other side of this tree line. He decided not to wait and rousted everyone out of bed. Do you know how many are in there? The snitch says 4 guards, Hank. I don't know how many actual workers. Get suited up. You, Gustav, and Victor cover the back. Russell, since this is your first real hunting party, you'll go on the front door with the Colonel and me. Oh, please, Lieutenant, don't feel like you have to treat me special. Maybe I could just stay here and monitor communications with the ladies. Jesus, I sound like a pansy. But never ever in my time with the DEA were we as cold-blooded as this bunch. If we ever executed a suspect without justification, we'd be the ones standing before a judge and jury. Our job was to bring them in for trial. The end goal here appears to execute on the spot. One of the men I had not seen before is approaching with 2 flak jackets, communication devices, rifles, and hands a set to Hank. Hey! Jelmy, what's up? And Ashball's here, hi. Been lurking. Just been playing Fortnite. Ah, yes. 2 weeks of night. Yes. Who doesn't love a good game of Fortnite? See you when this is over, Billy. Stay safe, Hank. He disappears into the dark tree line with Hines and Augur. The guy with the equipment approaches me. Officer Russell? That's me. I'm Ivan Oblonsky. The tall one over there is Boris Tanginev. Just chilling, I hope all is well. Yeah, pretty good. Thank you. Glad to hear you're just chilling. That's nice. Sounds relaxing. He has a pronounced Russian accent. Welcome to the hunting party. Yeah, Ivan, you work for Chernov, alright? He hands me a flak jacket headset and an M4 rifle, not bothering to ask if I've ever handled one before. I haven't. How difficult can it be? Lock and load, aim, pull the trigger, and shoot bad guys. No. Don't shoot anyone unless they're shooting at you. I adjust the flak jacket and slip on the communication headset just as I hear Gustav calling in. Jade, Antonia, we're in position. Antonia answers. Copy that, Gustav. Chernov's prancing around the back of the Humvee like a racehorse waiting for permission to go out and kill all the other horses. The man gives me the cold jitters. Ah, crap, he's coming in my direction. Here's how this works, Russell. Boris opens doors. Then SWAT goes in and takes out the banditos, leaving the workers for us to interrogate. Questions? 1,000,000, but I won't ask, Colonel. No, sir. Stick close to Lieutenant Wilson and me. Yes, sir. He calls to Boris. Okay, Boris, let's do this. From the back of the Humvee, Boris retrieves a small shoulder-mounted rocket launcher. So that's what Chernov meant by opening the doors. That's a dramatic entrance. I hope they've done some sort of surveillance to make sure that there's nothing, I don't know, explosive on the other side. Time to light up the night. The good colonel spits that out with a full-on air of arrogance that causes me to be more apprehensive than I already am. We follow Chernov, Wilson, Boris, Ivan, and SWAT into the dense trees. A couple of minutes later, we break through to a clearing and come upon an old white 2-story warehouse about 30 yards away. Light is bleeding from the edges of the boarded-up windows on the first and second floors. Chernov raises a hand. We'll hold here until the fireworks are over. Boris, Ivan, and SWAT are making their way to a spot that gives them a clear shot at the building's double sliding wooden doors. The EMS vehicle appears from around the tree line and moves slowly to a position closer to the barn. Boris lifts the launcher to his shoulder and aims. There's a loud boom, momentarily lighting up the area, then a whooshing sound as the projectile streaks through the air, slamming into the doors, splintering them into hundreds of small pieces of shrapnel and leaving a gaping hole. Orange, red flames snake up the sides of the building, dissipating into thick swirls of gray and black smoke. The SWAT team dashes toward the gap left by the blast. A hail of gunfire begins. It's coming from inside. SWAT returns fire, bullets whizzing and ripping on what's left of the doorframe. 2 SWAT members make it to the opening and open fire. Seconds later, they dash to the inside. Shots ring out before all go silent. Then, a call comes from SWAT team leader. First floor secure, Colonel. 2 bad actors down. Activity on the 2nd level. Your men okay? Everyone accounted for, sir. Moving upstairs now. A few moments of nerve-wracking silence pass, then a burst of gunfire followed by a second and third. It sounds like it's coming from the 2nd floor. All goes quiet again before we hear the calm voice of the SWAT leader. Building secure, Colonel. Chernov's face widens in a satisfied grin. Damn, you guys never fail me. Wilson makes the call to Jade and Antonia. Jade, Antonia, we're on our way to the 2nd floor. You can move up now. Position yourselves by the EMS. Antonia's voice comes back. Copy that, Lieutenant. Chernov thrusts his right arm forward like he's leading a charge in some long-forgotten skirmish in some far-off hellhole. Let's go. We dash into the barn. 2 SWAT members are standing over 2 bodies at the front door of the stairs. Blood from their wounds pools onto the dusty floor. Without paying them attention, Chernov steps over the bodies and charges up the stairs 2 at a time, with Boris and Ivan right behind him, with Wilson and me taking up the rear. The odor of smoldering wood and gunpowder lingers. The SWAT leader is motioning to the end of the hallway. Through that open door, Colonel. Thanks. Good job as always. It all went down as planned without any of us firing a shot, thanks to SWAT. Chernov takes off down the dimly lit hallway with us close behind. Halfway down, Wilson stops, peers into a small room to the right, and gasps. The grisly sight of a man is propped haphazardly against the blood-splattered wall. God, The left side of his face has been ripped away. We move on to a large open room at the far end of the hall. A SWAT member is standing over a black man and a Hispanic woman down on their knees, hands handcuffed behind them. Neither looks older than their early 30s. Chernov turns to the SWAT leader. "Are these two the only workers?" "Yes, Colonel." The SWAT leader is motioning to the 3 tables. Each has neat mounds of powder on them. "There's enough coke here to supply the greater Boston suburbs with whatever crap they mix with it for a month. My guess is caffeine laced with a touch of fentanyl. Gets them hooked every time. I can always rely on you and your men." "Oh, thanks, Colonel. As always, it's been our pleasure." Chernov tosses him a quick salute. "Until the next hunting party." "Until the next hunting party, sir." The SWAT leader tosses Chernov a quick salute and leaves. Chernov's attention is now on the 2 down on their knees. "You two working the night shift alone?" The black man nods, but neither makes eye contact with him. "Who wants to go first?" No reply from either. "Tell me who you work for, and we'll go easy on you." No response. Chernov approaches the man, stares at him for a beat, then swift kicks him in the ribs with the toe of his right brogan, with such force we hear ribs crack. The man cries out and falls behind the woman to the dusty wooden floor. She cringes and looks away. "If I ask a question, Schweizerman, I expect an answer. Russell, pull this black excuse for a human to his knees." "Racist, are we, Colonel?" Setting my rifle down on the floor, I slip my hands under the guy's armpits and I lift him. He cries out in pain. Chernov crouches and gets in his face. "Let's try this again. Who do you work for?" "I don't know. Honest." Chernov stands and kicks him in the same spot. The guy tumbles on the floor again, writhing in pain. Maybe the lady will be more cooperative, Colonel." "You think, Lieutenant? Let's give her a try." The woman's eyelids slowly open, her dark eyes telegraphing her fear. Chernov approaches her. "What do you have to say for yourself, brown señorita?" Her eyes come up to him. She hesitates. "An Ecuadorian kid shows up at the end of the week, pays us in cash, and we go home." She speaks with a distinct Hispanic accent. "What's your name?" "Maria." "Okay, Maria. From wherever the hell you're from, south of the border. Watch and learn. Russell, lift our boy to his knees again." What the hell is going on here? What is Chernov doing? Reluctantly, I do as he asks and lift the man. He groans loudly. "Jesus, man, wait. I'll tell you what you want to know." Maria whips her head around and bellows. "Anthony, shut the hell up." In a flash, Wilson swings his arm up and across, striking the left side of Maria's face with an open hand. Her head whips right, and she cries out. Jesus, this isn't an interrogation. This is sadistic torture. During my time on Europa, I witnessed more than my share of violence, both from the inmates and guards. But this isn't violence. This is torture. There are footsteps in the hallway. In comes Hank, Gustav, and Victor. "You're just in time for the grand finale, gentlemen." What do we got here, Colonel?" "Human scum, Victor. Human scum. Chernav turns to Maria. She lifts her head and looks at him with contempt. She spits. Saliva splatters on Chernav's left shoe. You're a crazed animal. And you're... wait, no, wrong line. You little bitch. Russell, bend her over. What? Bend her to my shoe. Jesus, he's lost it. He's frigging nuts. I look to the others. Nothing. Not that one of them will step in and stop this madness. Did you hear me, Russell? Sir, then goddammit do it. Reluctantly, I move behind Maria, place my hands on her shoulders, and slowly bend her forward. Rub her face in it. Sir, I think... Do not think, Russell. Just do as I instructed. This is not the act of a man in control. This is the act of a psychopath. If I don't do as he asks, the crazed bastard's liable to turn on me. As gently as I can, I bend Maria forward until her face is a couple of inches from his shoe. All the way, Russell. 2 inches more. Maria's face is touching the saliva. She's crying. Chernav, the crazy fool, cackles, turns, and points to Wilson's sidearm. Lieutenant, a little assistance with Anthony, please. Wilson sets his M4 down, takes out his Smith & Wesson, and crouches in front of Anthony. No doubt he and Chernav have played this game before. Wilson jams the weapon's barrel into Anthony's groin. Anthony cries out in pain. Tell the colonel what he wants to know. The guy is shaking with pain from his broken ribs. His eyes have teared up. His mouth opens slowly. We make a deal? Chernav takes a step closer, squats next to Wilson, and leers at Anthony. Do either of us look like your parish priest? Chernav nods to Wilson. Wilson jabs the pistol further into Anthony's crotch. Anthony cries out. Jesus, man, stop. My ribs. I need help. There are 2 EMS guys outside. Tell the colonel what he wants to hear, and they'll see to your injuries. Okay. Chernav's face lights up like a kid in 5th grade who just received an A in math class. Say his name. Alvira. Maria breathes a hard sigh and looks away. For a moment, I think Chernav's going to hit her again, but he doesn't. He turns to Anthony. Say the whole name. Matthias Diego Alvira. Louder. Matthias Diego Alvira. Where might we find this ever-charming Mr. Alvira? I don't know. I wouldn't know Alvira from you if he had walked in here right now. With his right hand, Chernav wiggles his fingers in a gimme motion to Wilson. Wilson hands him his pistol and moves aside. Chernav places the gun in Anthony's crotch. You have kids, Anthony. No. I hope you aren't planning on having 5 or 6 anytime soon. Anthony's face turns ashen white. He's shaking. His eyes go to the pistol, and his mouth gapes wide. Chernav pushes the gun in further. Anthony cries out, God almighty, I think Chernav's going to shoot. Boris moves quickly to Chernav's side and grips his right shoulder. Colonel. Chernav doesn't answer. His eyes are locked on Anthony's. Colonel. Chernav's eyes, wide, turn to Boris. What? Time to go, sir. Okay. Something bizarre is going on here. Boris leans close to Chernov's right ear. He's whispering something we can't hear. Slowly, Boris's hand slides down Chernov's arm and grips the barrel of the Smith & Wesson. He's whispering in Chernov's ear again. Chernov's grip on the pistol loosens. Boris removes it from Chernov's hand and passes it to Wilson. I look at Hank, ever so slightly. He shakes his head from side to side. Boris helps Chernov to his feet, and he and Ivan lead him from the room. There's no way in hell I can begin to understand what just occurred. Wilson turns to Gustav and Victor. Gustav, Victor, take care of this. Russell, watch and learn for next time. There isn't going to be a next time for me, Lieutenant. I will find a way out of this madness if it's the last thing I do. Once the room is clear, Gustav walks around the back of Anthony Victor behind Maria. I turn my head away. Don't you want to watch, Russell? No, you crazy son of a bitch. Those are human beings kneeling before you in case you fail to notice. 2 shots ring out. Every muscle in my body tightens. I feel like I've been stung by 1,000 bees. When I look back, Maria and Anthony lie face down on the floor, blood seeping from their head wounds. Is this who we are? Is this what we've become? Or have we always been savages? Hank grips my arm and pulls me toward the door. Come on, Billy. In the hall, in the small room off to the left, Wilson, Boris, and Ivan are huddled with Chernov. I peer in, but Hank's tugging at my arm. Come on. As we reach the top of the stairs and begin to descend, 3 rapid shots ring out. We both freeze. Hank looks at the busted doors. Those shots came from outside. Dashing down the stairs, we make it through the bombed-out entrance. Antonia is lying on the ground about 30 feet away. Her hands are gripping her upper right thigh. The EMS medics rush to her. Jade's a few feet away, smoke seeping from the barrel of her M4. She's white as a ghost. The rifle slips from her hand to the ground. She sees us coming and points to the right corner of the warehouse. A man is lying face down in the overgrown grass, a handgun within inches of his outstretched right arm. He came out from the side door, Billy. Fired 1 shot and hit Antonia before I put 2 in him. Wilson comes running out of the warehouse, followed by the others. Hank, what happened? That one over there came out the side door and shot Antonia. Jade took him down. One of the EMS medics is waving a hand. The shot went clean through her right thigh. My attention is on Jade. She lowers herself to the ground. Her hands cup her face, and she's crying. Rushing to her, I place an arm around her shaking shoulders as Boris, Ivan, and Chernov disappear through the tree line. So much for their concern for Antonia. Wilson's barking orders. Gustav, Victor, drag that son of a bitch inside with the others and torch the goddamn place. I help Jade to her feet. Come on. Come on. The EMS guy will care for Antonia. Let's get you out of here. Hank joins us, and we return to the tree line. I turn back. The dead man is gone, and the building is already ablaze, flames leaping up through the old wooden structure like crepe paper. When we break through the tree line, Boris and Ivan are helping Chernov into the Humvee. Hank, what the hell happened back there? Madness, as usual. Let's get on the road before the locals show up to watch the fire. There's a quick break in the story. The atrocities committed in that warehouse were beyond human cruelty. As we drive back, I'm waiting for Hank or Jade to say something, anything, but neither does. Jade is in the back seat staring vacantly out the window. Her arms are wrapped tightly across her chest. I want to console her, to reassure her that in taking that man's life she saved Antonia's, and possibly hers. But there are no words. Not now. Maybe never. Leaning across the seat, I whisper to Hank. For Christ's sake, Hank. That was a gangland execution. Marseille sets policy. Today, you saw how it's carried out. Policy rooted in, Hank cuts me off. Enough, Billy. Get past it or I'll scrape at you until you bleed. I gaze over my shoulder at Jade. She shakes her head and places a finger to her lips, signaling I should drop it. At least explain why SWAT and the others left the room. Jade leans forward, resting her arm on the back of my seat, and whispers, plausible deniability. Plausible what? As crazy as it sounds, they can't be held responsible for what they didn't see or take part in. Are you joking, Jade? Why in the hell do they need us? SWAT does just fine on their own. You don't get it, Billy. Get what, Hank? What am I missing? If this ever blows up, we'll be accused of being rogue cops, and we'll take the fall for it. That was chapter 15. You have to feel bad for this guy. For Billy, I mean. Someone murdered his wife. And the only thing he could think to do was, like the book said, an eye for an eye. So he does a lot of time for it. Hard time. And then after 17 years gets thrown into this kind of mess where there doesn't seem to be any kind of moral control. There's policy, but the policy is the wild, wild west. Or at least so it seems. And he's having a really hard time coming to grips with any of it, which I don't blame him one bit. It's kind of crazy. In a raid, I expect there to be some loss of life, casualty, injury, something. But when you're interrogating on the spot without taking people into custody, that's definitely where the rule of law kind of went out the window, at least from Billy's perspective. He's still in the mindset of what things used to be like. Something obviously changed in the 17 years he was gone. How quickly that change came to be, hard to say. I think it wouldn't be an overstatement to say that change like that doesn't just happen overnight. It happens in stages, slowly, like little pieces being chipped away until one day you step back and take a look at the whole thing and realize that half the piece is gone or more. And then you wonder how, what the heck happened? So, yeah. It didn't chip away for him. It just kind of showed up. And there it is. Let me take a gander at how long the next chapter is, because I will need to take a short break before I jump into Discord. We got lucky last time, if I remember correctly. The last chapter we read was on the short side. This one is definitely not. Where is the end of the chapter? Wow, okay. Yeah, that's not short at all. It's like 20 pages. So we'll just chat for a few minutes. So we're only getting 2 chapters out of the book tonight, but that's not terrible. I think they were pretty heavy chapters anyway. And chapter 16 doesn't look like it's going to be a quick, light read either, based off of its length. But, yeah. This story, this book, I can really see it being played out as a movie or a show, which doesn't surprise me, given the author's background and his portfolio, his resume of the movies and the TV shows that he's done. Something like this, as heavy as it is, seems like it would be a popular mainstream TV show or a movie of some sorts that kind of grips you from the first, few minutes that it starts. So, to see it in the written form, I think our brains, our minds take it to a different place. They always say it's obviously different between a movie and a book. In a book, you can get a lot more detailed. In a video, whether it's film, TV, your mind just kind of takes in the surroundings, but it doesn't analyze every detail like you would in a story. So, seeing this played out on a screen would have elements of shock and awe, sure, but I don't think it would have the same... let me rephrase. I think it would have the same impact. I just don't think it would have the same measure of the impact. In a story, when you're explaining it, it feels like everything is way more intense. But on a screen, it would be the same thing, just less intense. If that makes sense. Hopefully I'm explaining that in a way that clicks. But yeah, it's definitely, definitely heavy. I don't necessarily think it's a bad heavy. It's just something that we're not quite used to. And I keep slipping down my chair. Explained that well? Thank you. Okay, good. Our next book, though, that we're going to get to at some point or another, is very different. Probably closer to the books that we've read in the past compared to this one. It says, "What if everything you loved was destroyed? Fiona had all she desired, a loving family, a handsome fiancé, and a peaceful village. Then the Vikings came. Her family dead and her home burned, she finds herself whisked away by unseen forces to another world where everything looks the same but is so very different. She's taken in by a group of travelers who aren't what they seem and discovers she's more like them than she expected. The Mordor General Ivar's pursuing the power of the Old Grange with his disembodied companion, the sorceress Alina. Fiona and her new friends must rally together to stop this formidable force." So yes, definitely on the more fantasy side, not sci-fi, but fantasy side for sure. Oof. I I will be back on Sunday. I don't have any other travel arrangements, plans until like early June. That's when my next work trip is. So we should be on a good, consistent schedule for a little while. At least probably 6 weeks worth. So that's good. By that time, we will have finished Midnight Black. As it it was fading into the green screen. Oh well, whatever. We'll have finished that book. We'll have probably started the next one, The Shades of Orthea. Yeah. And by then, the house will have begun being built. So that's exciting. And real quick before I go, I just want to show you. Let's see if I can pull this up. Browser. Is it going to do this? Hey, there it is. Of course, it's not showing you the image that I've blown up to be full screen, but whatever. That's the Magical Tree front cover. Why isn't it updating? That's so strange. Like, it's not doing what I want it to do. I hate that. Let me try something else. Let's just do a simple window capture. Yes, we'll do a window capture. There we go. That's what I want. So there's the Magical Tree. And then that's on the back cover, that's the same part. A village has only known joy and riches for hundreds of years. However, the magic that has made this place so great is running out. It's up to a very brave boy to help his village learn how to escape the curse that is set upon them. I am super stoked to get a copy of this and be able to just give it to him and then see what he says. Because he has no idea. He doesn't know what I've done. And I hope I can catch it on video just to kind of remember that moment. So yeah. If any of you have young ones that are getting into chapter books, this one is about 5,000 words, so it's a little bit shorter than like a typical kids chapter book, so it's not too heavy. Has a few pictures in it, which once I get the copy, I'll be able to show you. I'll actually show it off, as long as it shows up on time, I'll show it off on Sunday stream. That way you can see it. But yeah, it's there. You're welcome to it. I do plan on trying to get a few copies later on so that I can give them away if needed. But yeah. And I'll read it on stream too at some point. Absolutely. All right. Enough of all that. I am going to find someone for us to raid. Who haven't we raided in a while? Gosh, there's so many people online right now. It is unreal how many people are online. There's something about a Thursday night. It's so popular. Man, Kill is online. Paige is online. Super, or I guess technically Zarias, I think. Nope, just kidding. It's Rampage. He's online. Yeah, we'll go see the After Hours Broalition. Why not? Alright, feel free to copy the raid message. If you don't mind just hanging out for the raid, and then, of course, do what you need to do after that. But again, I appreciate you being here. The puzzle, keep going on that puzzle, Mitchell. You're almost done. I want to see it finished, alright? That's your objective. Finish that puzzle. Yeah. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. I'll be back in a few days. We'll continue with this maddening story. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if Billy actually makes any changes in this crazy world he's found himself in. Who knows? You're gonna go there next anyways? Fantastic. Alright. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And have a great night.